really interesting deal in the town of Princeton. So a young husband and wife bought a house in a small town in Princeton back in February of this year. So only about, 8 months ago? And he ended up getting a job up in Oklahoma. She is a teacher in Princeton, so they decided to move into a town that's halfway in between his work and her work. And they're going to split the driving that way. Now, once they sell the house, they want to go buy and finance a house that a contractor is currently building for them. So because they only bought the house less than 8 months ago, they have zero equity in the house. So there's no way they're going to sell it for cash whatsoever. So I offered them to buy the house on a subject to. Let me just buy it for what you owe, and you walk away free and clear. I'll pay all closing costs, which is fine for me because it's about $800. And if we can buy it and sell it for what I think we can, which I'm pretty sure we can, we'll end up making about $817 a month. So it'll be a really good deal for us because their mortgage payment is 3.75%. I'm going to sell it on a 9.5% mortgage, and I get to keep the spread. Now the only problem is, because when we buy a house with subject to, we tie up the credit of the buyer for 1 year. So otherwise, any loan officer that is pulling their credit is going to look at this, and they're going to need to qualify counting this mortgage and the new mortgage, and they didn't have the income to basically cover both and still get a mortgage loan. So our solution was very simple. I will lease the house from the sellers. So we will sign a traditional lease. I will give them a deposit, and I will give them a month's rent. Now, of course, they're going to move out. I'm going to find a buyer, and I'm going to lease it to my buyers. When they're ready to do that, they're going to take that lease to their loan officer. And the loan officer is going to generally give them credit anywhere from 85 to 90 up to 100% of the principal, interest, taxes, and insurance payment on the old house when calculating their debt to income on the new house. So otherwise, it's going to free their credit up when looking at the new house, and they will be able to qualify for financing the new house that they're building. Now, once they close on the new house, then I'm going to execute my contract, and I'm going to buy the house subject to. So the day after they close on the new house, I'm going to close on buying the house subject to at 10 in the morning, and then I'm going to close on selling it to my buyers at 11. And the reason I can do that is once they close on their house, the lender will never run a new credit report, and the lender doesn't care what they do with the old house, just as long as they make sure that the payments are made on the new house. So that's one of the techniques we can use in helping a client achieve all of their objectives, even if we have to get a little bit more complicated in doing so.